Hail, daughter of Ngati. To shelter, yes? Before my hair dries out, island life must not have agreed with them. Sand has encroached in all the wrong places, I say. Ugh, the tentacle rots from the base up, I say. For this I left the guild? Akara, I know that look. Tiana, what a surprise! I say I could not find you after your Ranga moved the tribe. Akara, I say my soft fish heart can take another callus. I say I will leave the thinking to the days after this guppy loses his tail. I admit to having glands, which I do not discuss, but I always keep them clean. The koaki will reveal itself when you can smell it from Nekataka, I say. An earnest plea, I say. You can always tell when someone has not visited the bathhouse, I say. Adra is the life of the Deadfire. This is not done, I say. No one chains Tekēhu, I say. Well, except Rabuna. Tekēra, like an ingrown toenail. I say that a bound man is usually a more welcoming sight than this. Well, the fish do not swim to you, brother? Strange. I weep to see my people beg before the master chef. Tekēra, I have seen more agreeable Naga mating competitions. A cook without shame makes a poor breakfast, I say. Did you not come to plunder? Tekēra, I misunderstood your mission. Aha. She is talkative, this one. Do not pretend to understand the opinions of fish, I say. Let us not leap to conclusions, I say. Almost enough to make one feel self-conscious. Unfortunate. Let us not repeat history. Come no closer, fiends. Akara, then you do know my mother. As usual, I am the last to know. Sanctuary at last. Do not let me stop you from having a good time. I have my eyes on you, Captain. Just try to keep it interesting. It is nothing to me where you drop your anchor. Well, start slowly, please. Akara, a most respectable establishment, I say. If we are robbing Valians to aid Valians, what do we achieve here then? There are no peasants in the tribes. Your people created this term. The borders Amira drew for us are wide enough, I say. Cower before Ngati, monster. Akara, have we met? Akara, punish me appropriately if I misbehave. Akara, at least one of us is amused. Akara, as if this pit could afford good honey wine. Akara, how could I let you poison your clients? Ngati is not deigned to bless a drop of what passes through here. If that was his finest, I say it was charity. Clamber? These legs do not clamber. Apologize. Akara, the queen consigns murderers to the gullet. Akara, most definitely. Akara, I can think of several reasons. Akara, but these sharks are no sympathetic audience. Still recovering after the last visit, I say. My mind is willing, but my scales have limits. Akara, we have quenched each other's flames from time to time. Mother Ngati hears your prayers even from this enchanted realm. You can find less costly comforts in Pariki's overlook, madam. Give it some thought. For what would anyone want their deeds in cold ink when they can live on in song? I will observe his technique, Captain. A cruel practice, I say. And they call us savages. Who will help the Dwape if not gods or neighbors? Feel free to keep me out of it, I say. Outsider law has more teeth than Ngati's pets, I say. Well said, Captain. But common sense is the first casualty of greed. Never solve with violence what you can with music, I say. Dead, I say. This poor woman. Captain, that smell will not wash off without a fight. For what did they just leave her like this? My delusions are well earned, I say. So it is true what they say. You never forget a face. Ngata, a pleasure as always. That is a vile falsehood. I pilfered a third of your earnings. A finder's fee. I will choose our next voyage, Akara. No more volcanoes. 2 envoys of the gods may yet break the serpent's spine. My prince, wild mares could not keep me from the wild mare, but I will remember your words. Akara, just this once, my prince. We stumbled on evidence of abandoned Roparu settlements, but nothing more. I hold nothing back, my prince. We discovered the Principe at the heart of Delver's Row. That is not Akara. I was mistaken. The black market is something the Roparu built to survive. It was not thrust upon them, I say. It is the closest thing we have to healthy cooperation with outsiders. To see the gullet is to forgive the Roparu. The queen must prove herself worthy to them, and the question of the gullet goes deeper than the queen's law. I say it is the queen's duty to earn back the love of her people. This should not fall to outsiders. My prince, if I may, you may count on it, my prince. No, my prince. I hold the art to a higher standard. So does Ngati. Akera. Me least of all, my prince. Me? For what does the lower city need an artist? Akera. I did not realize. Better if we discuss it on our way down the mountain. My prince, I have always known those who pray for Ngati's favor, but only now do I see those who depend on it. Certain death it is, then. I make no promises of dirtying my hands in some fetid jungle, but I do not protest a calm voyage. It was the island capital of the Huana Empire of old. A fable, they say. Akera, I will weigh the matter. Ngati would want me to recover what we'd left behind. Akera, to be sure, I say. Of course. Highness, for what do you do this? My queen, I say you must reconsider. Mother Ngati is not in the habit of offering second chances. Akera, somewhere in the abyss she blinks her enormous eyes with approval, I say. Do we still speak of the city? I have lost track. Akera, it takes a strong arm to rattle two coconuts loose from the same tree. My queen, by my mother's hanging lamp it will be done. Akera, that would be the cursed land of corpses. I say we are artists, but when diplomacy fails, we will become something more. Akera, the guild, they fought bravely, Highness. About many things, Highness. Not this, I say. Akera, but I cannot believe... Highness, would you trap another of Ngati's ancient pets? I am not feeling very sacred today, Highness. What say? The handsome fish deserves no recognition? My people have sold their lands, their adra, and their dignity. I say Ngati keeps count. I am misled if holding a shell is all it takes to earn Ngati's favor. Oh, you look tense, Captain. I have a remedy just for that. What a stifling little den. Do all wizards hate natural light? The sanctum is looking wetter than usual, I say. I smell magic in the air. Or imp droppings. Or both. Won't someone help me remove them? Today I thank Mother Ngati for my captain's deep pockets. Akera, perhaps later. A man must have his secrets. Stronger than he looks, I say. An accomplished underwater wrestler. What say? Where is Myru? Snakes could not have caused that tremor. Akera, indeed. I am the renowned Archimere. Now, begone! Akera, you are a wizard with bark cloth. I was the envy of the guild. Akera, you swing the forge hammer with such grace, I say. Remain loose, but not too loose. Confine yourself, but spread out at all times. Not even close. If you want to achieve the second form, you will need to loosen that posture. Spending a day submerged in the bathhouse always helped me. Perfect. Keep at it, and you'll be teaching me the fourth form in no time. This is the tomb of Periki. Such disrepair, I say. This cannot be true, I say. We have a responsibility, I say. Hello, but if he speaks truth, the Huana are better served if he remains. That is similar to the tenets of Ngati's covenant. Akera, there is too much running through my head, I say. For another time. By Ngati, he speaks true. I only know an interpretation of Ngati's covenant, but, Akera, it is possible. Mother, Ngati never told me this, I say. Akera, I have not indulged in parlor tricks since the last time you visited. As I recall, you cheered the loudest of all for my pillar of liquidity. You are too stubborn to die, old shark. I think she wishes us to enter the water shaper sanctum, Myru. Myru! By Ngati. She's dead. You were the one who forced my hand, Guildmaster. Myru! Oh, gods, but look what they've done to you. The words of Periki's devotion, I say. An old prayer to Ngati. It must have meant something to her. Myru told us to seek a rod, and adore. A vague plea, I say, but I would honor her last wish. Akera, your guess is as good as mine. Akera, the others will see to her once we've cleaned up the last of this mess. Wakeme, I would eat every denizen of my mother's kingdom if you cooked them up. Ah, forgive the intrusion. We were just leaving. That is, giving you space to grieve. It is unseemly to mock the Roparu, I say. Why, no hug for Tekēhu, then? The Roparu are a community, I say. It is possible to thrive here. You feed the eldest to the sharks like chum? Akera, to survey the local, established... You do not have a tongue for compliments, I say. Look no further, silly man. I speak with Ngati's tongue. It certainly looks... comfortable. More resourceful killers, then. Do not talk around this. Watcher, no! This isn't why we came here! It's something I ate. A bad koiki. I've seen things beneath the waves that would haunt your next life. Leviathans with teeth like masts, mile-high statues wielding scepters of coral and bone. If I'm nervous, it has nothing to do with the likes of you. What my friend means to say is thank you, Kara, but I am worth 5 friends at least. Starving? Are the gods so occupied that they cannot see inside the mountain? Onakaza will listen. Her concern holds this island together. Akera, one hopes it is a temporary solution. At least piety can thrive in this dark and unforgiving burrow. The bark beetle makes no appeals to the sparrow, I say. The deerwood must want for entertainment if sleight of hand is a joy. Forgive me. Do we know each other? Watcher, what is the matter with you? What a silly notion, I say. Do you not think so? How can you consign your fellow woman or man to this fate? And this is punishable by death, or worse, you have doomed the desperate. A sad day for all, Juana. Akera, I hope we plan on carrying some to a museum. If you would steal or damage a shrine to Ngati, then may the water around you fill with sharks. Ngati would sink the island beneath the waves before handing it over to pirates. Akera, it is for the Ranga and the Mataru to feed the tribe. The Roparu have no healers of their own? In my village, the sick went to the other side of the mountain. Is there nowhere deeper you can flee? We had pretty words before the first ship landed on Rauatai, and I can bite deeper than you might imagine. Are you the one responsible for tricking the water shapers into serving your petty errands? I have an honest face. A poor assassin is this handsome fish. Look, but don't touch, I say. Gibberish. The floating spider had best explain itself. It would be most confusing if Ngati's chosen was anything but devout. But I say I am open to anything. Silent prayer? Where are the songs, I say? Did you learn this from Valians? To live for death is a contradiction that only the great eel could appreciate. Captain, I say you run with a more dangerous crowd than I guessed. How far must I reach to grip this connection? For some of us, no caste comes close to expressing our strengths. The sharing of resources among the tribe. For what do we let the Mataru rule us, if not to dispense Wahana in fairness? Does all Rauataian law work this way? Where is that mountain of Azada shells I misplaced thousands of years ago? A most uncomfortable latrine, I say. Anyone who visited the bathhouse would know that this wastrel is never idle. To hasten what you call a foregone conclusion, this is the worst of outsider hypocrisy. Akera, glad to know some of us make an impression. You only fool yourself. My people were accomplished before Rauatai had a name, and we will prove you wrong. Captain, I say the tribes have lost so much. We might never recover from this blow. Madness, I say. Ngati is a trickster, but she is not cruel. I say you do not understand us at all. Never bothered to try. Thank you, Captain. For what do we do this awful thing? All over sand and water, I say. The gods laugh at you, Captain. But I have only tears. No? Tell it to the water shapers who washed your stranded boats from sandbars, Hazanui. Where you see fractures, I see the lines of age. She asked nicely, Captain. You could have said no. I say the explosion would have been tidier than this mess you've gotten us in. Fikera, may you vanish from the world twice as swiftly. In my tribe, Debtors went diving for snails in the Great Reef, sometimes for days. I am no more a part of this than you, brother. Could we not sail somewhere cooler? I've changed my mind. I would like to return to the ship. What a glorious hole. I never saw such creatures before joining your crew. Can we not reason with the gigantic flaming marauders? Oh, this would brighten up my quarters in the guild. Must every room be so hot? Is it too late to discuss my fear of heights? Smaller than I expected. The volcano rolls in slumber, I say. We should not be here. I hope they do not dine on fish. It is not just the mountain that awakens. We disturb the fires of Mogren herself. We stare down the open jaws of Tongaloa. Captain, it has been an honor. A curse on Ngati for giving me such tender, delicious flesh, I say. Must all dragons of the archipelago shackle themselves to someone else's cause? I say, I make a better diversion than a sneak, but just this once. Keep the beast talking. All children of the gods have a purpose. My fiery friend, only you can decide what to make of it. For what do you look at me? Look to the captain, I say. Must all dragons be so terrible? Can we not attempt to charm just one of them? Captain, I would not interrupt your contemplation, but it is not every day I see someone commune with luminous Adra. Ikera, I have known priests to go mad from too much incense, but speaking with a god has not left such a deep scar in you. The jawline of the northeastern sea. Treacherous waters. You are well enough to travel? I do not want my captain senseless and babbling after too much revelation, Ikera. Careful that we don't sail too close, Captain. Mogren's teeth are sharp, and this handsome fish would make a handsome meal. For what does Aethys keep walking away in the middle of a conversation? Where does he go next? It is not for the gods to explain, but that has never stopped me from asking. Mother Ngati, how am I to tolerate this unrepentant tease of a captain? That is your tension speaking. A visit to the bathhouse would do us both good, I say. Good neighbors, I say. As long as we do not cross paths in mating season. Wherever we sail, the beaches and spires of lost Ukaizo travel with us. Ikera, but you did not come to mine the reef. Onakaza gave the order, I say. Let the Kahanga share the credit, as if Onakaza could flood outsider lands with serpents and gods. For what do you call us tribals when we open our ports and welcome? Ngati shuns an ungrateful guest. Awake at last? Captain, another ship landed while you were out. We must prepare for anything. Can all of that beauty and life return to this place, Mighty One? Has the future of my people awaited them here, Mighty One? I once desired to return that power and beauty to the Huana. Now I wish only for the tribes to find it themselves. If not here, then elsewhere. Captain, when we stand before a god, we stand as children before the mountain. Reconsider, I say. Captain, we did not sail to beloved Ukaizo to lay waste to Aora, did we? Was I wrong? Have I failed them? I have stood here before, as a boy. I dreamed of a tower made of water. I stood at the pinnacle and made obeisance to Mother Ngati. This tower, this view, Ngati's covenant, the first form of water shaping. It is here, waiting for me, so beautiful. But look what they have done with you. Until today, it was impossible that we would arrive at the island of my ancestors. Ikera, here we are, expanding the possible. I remember. I am the tremor that inspires the tidal wave, the pebble that calls the avalanche. Mother, your son has found his birthright where you left it. I am ready, Watcher. Let us finish what we started. I am ready, beloved. Now to the green god, Ikera. Just so. My people never doubted that Ngati's chosen would find our ancient gift. Ikera, I did not share their confidence until now. The tribes always said that Ngati's chosen would show them the way to the past. I can feel it all around this place. The ones who built these machines used our connection to Ngati against us. These storms are a perversion of my art, an expression of beauty as a weapon. I do not think they meant it so literally as this. that I would stand on glorious Ukaizo. Now that I am here, it is like the city herself wishes to speak. Do not touch the machine again, I say. The delicate fish can only take so much. I do not speak for my mother, Aruihi. Akira, I never did. Captain, I'm sorry that we're here. Ukaizo, this should be a celebration, not a bloodbath. My queen, this is not, and the Ingwithans turned this thing against my ancestors? I do not plan on joining my mother in the beyond this day, Ancient One. Akira, let it be so. Akira, and I thought I was the master of first impressions. Would you like to recognize mine? Akira, that is best. Forgive me, Captain, but how can I fault anyone for standing their ground against Rauatai? Disobedience is a lesson that more of us must learn. How can we make plans over the roar of cannon fire? We are too busy moving our families from bought or claimed islands. If Rauatai is in such dire need of good kith, then feel free to turn the fleet about. Indeed there are. Captain, I am inspired to redecorate our ship's quarters. Wata, how is my little Koiki? Akira, we were. Briefly and purposefully, I am here on business. You are a delight as ever, I say. And keep the tribe safe, Owata. This is wrong, I say. The tribe opened their home to us. Akira, I was holding out hope that your senses would return. I feel a great sorrow. Mother Ngati weeps. Thank you, Captain. This is for the best. Akira, you are the reason the Wahaki fear outsiders. Akira, it is no small matter. Tekēhu, I doubt he even knows the meaning of the word. I will? Akira, I will. Some of us remember. What we choose to do with the memory is ours to decide. Akira, my thanks to you, dear Ranga, though I bring you no omens this day. Akira, just so. I will keep my hands to myself this time. Something keeps drawing me back to Oreo Koiki, I say. For what do you call the mother's word, good or bad? It merely is. The Juana fleet cherishes him as a patriot, I say. Akira, let this be a lesson on the importance of wearing protection. My idea of paradise is very different, but I say I will try yours out for size. And this is what you do with hard-won allies. Prize share looks very different, I say. Captain, do these people think they are dealing in fish? I have the opposite problem, I say. My desire for flesh increases as my soul decays. Captain, your crew grows more fetching by the day. Cataclysm? Madam, that would have been thousands of years ago. Madam, this is a swamp at best. What could we be trespassing on? This is not exactly my expertise, but I suppose I'll try anything once. Madam, as an envoy of Ngati, I send you greetings. The cataclysm was thousands of years ago. Akira, you have been alive all of this time? Looking better already, I say. Fish-headed indeed. Word of advice, Lady Scarecrow. My captain is a watcher. They eat their weight in Mainpugra before sunrise. Akira, that depends on what you had in mind. I suppose all things are water on the inside. Akira, this I can do. So you're on the tree side, is that it? Akira, I will try to take that as a compliment. Nature has turned her hand against this woman. We must not leave her in the state, Captain. Akira, a simple matter of denying these vines their beloved water. Not my finest work, but it is done. Those scribblings were made by my people millennia ago. I suppose you just wanted it for the plunder. Akira, protect your fine head, sailor. Akira, I was just getting comfortable before you raised the temperature. A strange covenant from a strange god, I say. Your master is not in the habit of teaching manners, I say. That is what you get for... well, I am certain it was justified somehow. Does Ngati's chosen get the freedom of the skull, little man? My poor ears. Akira, can we leave now? He cannot be speaking of us, right, Captain? Captain, I'm frightened. I get very hungry, dear one. Hard work speeds up the appetite. Child, when I am a shark, it means you are the safest little Orlin in the Deadfire. No good, I say. These distractions. For Mother Ngati, your story ends here. Show me where to bite. Tongaloa devour you. Your bones will feed the land. I will swallow you whole. Watch me, Mother, for my captain. This I cannot do. You ask too much. Too difficult, I say.
Craved a fila feelim. Quefe silmas mitum. Weirde bildan sawel. Crow acten. Sakritu. Ixmaru. Afrathirlem. Selmas mitum. Queth selmas mitum.
Naturally, Akera, it is no problem. That will do, I say. Next time, a challenge. It will be so. No need to ask twice. The pleasure is mine. Of course, my love. Anything for my captain? Behold me, Mother! I am the Alpha Predator. This will not do! Second try, I say. Akera, look there. Something shiny, I say. The fish has spotted a lure. You do not desire my company? Hurry back, my love. Akera, I will remain. I will take this time to meditate. I have matters to attend to as well, you know. I was bored of this anyway. I smell conflict in the air. I sense a predator in the water. I must swim to the shallows. I trust you can handle this?
Uluthen. Moeth Ixiana. Lavaro Bion Sik. Brith Ulikna. Athek Worth and Wrath.
Take care with your aim. Not so hard. You are very brazen when others might be watching. Right there is where I carry my stress. Well, this is one way to get my undivided attention. Gentler. No, harder. This attention is sublime. Oh, Captain, that tickles. When do I get a turn at the poking? People will have ideas about us. Not that I mind. This bores me. I am bored. Ngati's Chosen has better things to do. I am stuck! Aid me! Like a fish on the hook. Scratch. I will wear this scar with pride. You there! Tend to my wounds. Shouldering this much gear is bad for my posture. Shouldering this much gear is bad for my posture. Huh? I gladly accept. I will give this a good home. Does it bring out the color of my eyes? Akera, how fine. You know, I could take that off your hands. Looks handy enough. That will do in a pinch. Worth a few shells at least. Feel free to spend some of that coin on me. Someone is accustomed to the finer things. If you want for company, look no further. Of course, my love, if I must. You want me in the front? Of course you do. I will play the shark to your pilot fish. May we have words, Captain? Darling, a moment. Worry not. I am good with my hands. Reflexes and charm should do the job. I am seeing trails. Mother Ngati, is that you? I have lost too much water. As one, as one, as one, as one! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Forth to battle! Death take you! Death take you! Death take you! Aloth, don't go to the Adra. Adair, we need you. Maya? Shiza, no! Pelagina, gods bring her back. Seraphin, no! Shodi, stay away from your lantern. They will pay for this. Captain, no! Can we do nothing to help? Maya, stand up! My love, don't leave me! Edwin, you must rise! Rekka, come back to us! Constantine has fallen! Fasina! I will find you beyond the veil. Aloth, come back to us! Wake up, Adair! Maya, we need you! Pelagina, rise! Stay with me, Seraphen! Shodi needs a priest! Captain, this is no time to rest! Our party diminishes! We can't afford to lose another! Yedwin, back on your feet! Get up, Rekka! Constantine, up you go! You're not going anywhere, Fasina! My insides burn. This does not agree with me. My love, everything hurts. Watch yourself! Stop that at once! Slippery as an eel. I can be quiet if you can. You are very brazen when others might be watching. Right there is where I carry my stress. Well, this is one way to get my undivided attention. Yes, Captain. At your service. You have my attention. What say? Gentler. No. Harder. This attention is sublime. Oh, Captain, that tickles. You need something. Speak your mind. When do I get a turn at the poking? People will have ideas about us. Not that I mind. Your desire is mine. Go on, Captain. Yours to command, Captain. Can it not wait, Captain? This does not work. It makes no difference. That will do nicely. No need to thank me. Friend Aloth, I see you standing closer to the captain these days. For what are you bashful? Celebrate your conquest on every hilltop, I say. I know a certain establishment that will mop the sweat off that brow and more. These are Wahaki lands, I say. That symbol is a warning to outsiders. The stain of koiki fruit, I say. The gods made it to soil robes and upset stomachs. The Wahaki tribes smear themselves with the juice of the koiki before battle, and other occasions. Akira, just so. But not all of them go around my neck. Oh, it is no burden, my friend. You are free to borrow one. My friend, you hide your face in a book while the beauty of the Deadfire passes you by. You are ready to face death. What of life, I say? Songs are for singing, my friend. If they bother you, I will find one more to your liking. My tentacles enjoy a good tug. I try not to take them by surprise. After last time, if my people would control my talent for their own ends. Akira, I owe them nothing in return. Akira, where I do my best thinking without the babble of scholars to fill my head. It would be a shame to deprive the Juana of my talents. Ikera, I am a gift to my people. Will not all of us clear our heads with a cold bath? Apologies, friend. One of my tentacles squirted ink onto your grimoire. It is a territorial gesture, not to be taken personally. I might ask the same about your leaden key. We are both guilty of overlooking the obvious. Learn, learn, learn. You will be an old man by the time you make up your mind. I never guessed that anyone could be unhappy in Nekataka. Is there some Adiran trick for purging guilt that the Juana have missed? The guild is so desperate for strength that it turns to cruelty. To my people, the guild, the islands, it is a heavy weight being Ngati's chosen. If my power is all that can save the Juana, then I do not know, friend elf. My head itches. It does that in the company of nosy elf librarians. I have thought about Ukaizo all my life. It has always been a dream, but never on the horizon. For what do you obey your harvest god with such devotion, friend Shodi? If it is Ngati's desire that I stay moist, she will hasten the rain. Of course not. Only touch gently, and they will return the favor. The Juana gods are a jungle of choices, I say. If the fish displeases you, look to the bird. A question as old as courtship itself, I say. Captain, your threshold for the unusual lacks refinement. In times of great sorrow, Ngati blesses me to dribble ink. Makera, do not hold back, my friend. Well, if it riles me up, then I say you have my undivided attention. Akera, Mother Ngati is much beloved. Should it? What say? Ikera, I once sold a water globe to a Mataru priest. It was filled with live fish. The trick was letting the sculpture break down while he slept with it over his head. For me to exist in this form and to join this crew? I know she does. Ikera, It is for us to show the gods why we are worthy of notice. One of many gifts, I say. Tekēhu, I would rather give myself to the sea than take orders. Tekēhu, it is like making love to a bloom of jellyfish, like 1,000 wet kisses with a delicate caress under the skin. May you return with a good one.
Tekēhu, that is enough!
I say she can spare her breath for the authorities and Serpent's Crown. Thank you, Captain. I will be watching you, assassin. Tekēhu, I said nothing. Tekēhu, just look at me. This shark will decide who eats him and when, I say. Mere as feathers. In the tribes you would have been beloved and taught to cherish this, not cast it away like a curse. It is not every day I meet a sailor who gives no praise to Ngati. You would have to be large enough to grab his attention, I say. Tekēhu, the beaches of Oreo-Koiki, the sands of Poko-Kahara. Tekēhu, them as well. Is there anything the Watcher does not see? My apologies, I have trouble ordering the ideas in my head. And to my tribe, the Water Shapers were keepers of the past, our connection to the ancestors. How the guild heaped praise on Ngati's chosen. How they congratulated themselves for acquiring me, I say. My cage was a gilded one. Their dragon, he was not so lucky. The guild teaches a likeness of Ngati's art. For shame. But they posture before outsiders like masters of old. Captain, you have let the handsome fish do all the talking. I needed this. Thank you. Tekēhu, let us be off. Noted. Between the crown and the guild, Neketaka has high hopes for Ngati's chosen son, I say. I say there is me, Tekēhu. And there is the Tekēhu others would make like a coconut husk doll. Delver's Row will take care of them for a time. But I say the crown will not suffer the principe for long. Without Delver's Row, Onakaza must work harder to deserve the trust of the Roparu. We have both seen the worst of the city. How the Roparu cluster like sea rats. How did the stone walls and paved lanes of Neketaka divide us so? You have walked the length of Neketaka's spine. How would you serve the needs of all these people at once? Tekēhu, a practical solution, and one open to change. You think that something in the great pattern of Neketaka does not align with the Hawana way? I was hard-pressed to find insight like yours in Pariki's Overlook, but it is the adoring people who made Tekēhu the savior of the tribes. They sit me on the pedestal and observe. Then, when I make a move, they say, "Not so fast." Many think that I have a duty to the Hawana. I say I am the only one unconvinced. I only dismiss what others would make of me. Tekēhu, I know what I am. Rubbish, I say. Heroes are made for tragic ends and handsome corpses. I thought Aothus was too busy kicking over islands to blunt his teeth with mortals. What say? You must take something from all this idle chatter with the gods. For what does he listen to you, then? The gods I know are tight of lip and hard of hearing. Then that is how it will be. I could not imagine the inner workings of a god. He has inhabited a giant body and drained the souls of thousands. Can he be anything but committed? Tekēhu, it makes my head hurt whenever I try to figure out what Ngati wants from me. At least Aothus has you to keep him in check. What happens when we catch up to him is something for future Tekēhu to worry about. Ukaizo. We are actually going to Ukaizo. None of this changes how I feel when I practice the forms. Like swimming over an ocean trench, I say. The ancestors gave her unwavering devotion, and she gave them a gift. I gather my thoughts, Captain. You are not ignored. When the crown and the guild say what is right, who would not doubt themselves first? The guild must change for the Hawana to grow. I say that is Ngati's message delivered through her son's mouth. The tribes have never needed Ukaizo more. With Ngati's blessing, I would bring Ukaizo to them. The tribes will look to me to bridge our past and our future. A heavy responsibility, I say. The bleached bones of the past, lewd sculptures, an island, a city, a dream. The best of our people, before cataclysm buried it under ash and waves. Others call it the heart of the Hawana Empire, and more still, call it home. No one knows what the Hawana left behind, and there is little enough for us to guess by. Whatever we find, what better crew than friends to find lost Ukaizo on treacherous seas? Tekēhu? Tekēhu, How refreshing to know your course. One day for me, perhaps, I was the toast of Neketaka. But all of that is behind me. I must turn away from delights and think of the tribes, and I am no one's savior. It is not for an artist to save the tribes, I say. To work miracles, I would discover what our ancestors forgot. The covenant is more important than ever. I want the tribes to grow on their own. My people deserve better than the promises of a handsome fish and his goddess mother. I will give it thought. There is time enough for that, at least. Ukaizo should be the discovery of our lifetime. With the trading companies and the Principe ready to descend on each other, I wish the island had kept its secrets a while longer. Akira, talent like mine was once effortless, I say. Our birthright as Awana, our ancestors could raise islands or divide the seas. No warship could stand against us. Now only a fraction of us remember. The more I try to be the Tekēhu I know I am, the harder I am constrained. What say? I know how I seem. We did not have this word, conceded, before Adirans landed on the Isles. Everyone is welcome to achieve. I do not hoard success for myself. If people need hope, they should pray harder, or look to their own grindstone. If Ngati had not blessed me, if Ngati had not touched me, I wonder if anyone would care. I say the goddess touched me for more than enriching one tribe, glorifying one island. Well, I am not everyone. Akira, I am the only water shaper with an ounce of originality. Akira, but how can I accept such a debt? When will I know it is fulfilled? Captain, we are talking about me. There are no small comparisons to be made. But Pariki twisted my art into a perversion, an echo of what it should be. I will bring a change not seen since the days of our ancestors. Akira, and by then it will be too late. And you knew things he did not. But then I am not meant to. It is for mortals to flail in the darkness, I say, while gods point us toward light. The praise they showered on Ngati's chosen. Until now, it all seemed an empty gesture, never a promise that I could fulfill. To serve my people is to betray myself as an artist. Perhaps I am no savior. There is much to consider, and little time to decide our course. I fear that we will see the path before us before we are ready to walk it. Ukaizo will show us the way. The tribes will find themselves again. What do I want? Still with us, Captain? I had no desire to bore you with my inane chatter. Apologies. I say I never miss an opportunity to talk about myself. Ikera, yes, the land of my mothers, as real as anything that rises up from the bed of the sea. Also, smaller than I expected. Come, Captain, we have not a moment to lose. I am thinking that Aothus has come this far, and he will not wait on you before he finishes what he started. This should be as interesting as the last time I confronted a god-possessed Adra Colossus. I will make sure that what we find here goes toward the Hawana cause. The Crown's faith in Ngati's chosen will be justified. The Hawana could use a change, an upset, something that gets them working together. History has shown that we thrive in adversity. If he shatters what is sat in the heart of Ukaizo, this action will ripple beyond the Deadfire, beyond life as we know it. Captain, what say? You look a little blue about the gills. To inspire the world with Ngati's gift. This is my calling, Akira. So be it. Losing Ukaizo severed our connection to the gods. Over time, their gifts diminished. Anyone with the strength to pick me up may play with me, friend Shodi. Akira, just so. To be worshipped. To have others interpret your design. Such a burden. And mortals demand it so. It is not fair, I say. For what should a god worry about such cares, when theirs is the hand on the tiller? Akira, I did not wish to burden you. These days I am having to think harder than my pampered years. Then maybe they did not always doubt themselves. At some time they felt certain. The gods grow. They are like the Adra, holding Aora in place, I say, moving too slow for mortal eyes. You will forgive the handsome fish if he is as curious as the green god. Were I a god? Kara, such a question. The tribes brought me this far. Must I not also shoulder their burden as they did mine? My heart is full, but I do not share it with the world lightly. Maybe in time. Akira, Thank you. I say it is obvious now that Ngati brought me into the world to do this for the Hawana. Kara, but sometimes I wonder if we lost the covenant for a reason, and if Ngati's chosen should choose his own path. However it turns out, whatever we find, at least I have a good captain at my side. Our legends speak of the covenant with Ngati, one that defined the tribes for generations. Captain, I say I am without words. Ngati brought me into the world as an omen, a bringer of change. Serving on your crew has made me a bringer of death. I say I was meant to change the Hawana through art, through song and sculpture. Leave me to my thoughts, Captain. From now on, they are mine alone. Trouble me no more, Captain. This pain, my heart is as a sea urchin now. I am not the Tekēhu you knew. No more questions, I say. Can we simply leave? From the slightest irritation, a pearl is born. I cannot say what will be born of this feeling, Captain. It is beyond my knowing. The guild. For what did you do this, Captain? What say? Shall we find him, Captain? Captain, I am my mother's son. I have seen things you would not believe. Maya, do you recall the tales or songs of your tribe? I am composing a song for you and Ashiza. It is an ode to Amira, queen of birds. For what do you stare at me, little man? You were a slave. For this fish, the sea means only freedom. The gods want more for us than piracy, I say. For what do you bury your face in parchment, my friend? Protect your long ears, friend Aloth. The seagulls are restless. Oh, I thought perhaps I read that your armada fought well at Nakaro Atoll. Neither side left the battle unscathed. My ink replenishes itself. I am in no physical pain. When fish and bird can befriend each other, anything is possible, I say. The Hawana have done well in this harsh environment. You must concede that. You will like it, I think. The tune is inspired by a Rawatayan drinking song, a koiki fruit. Look how she enjoys it. Would you like one? My apologies. They have a mind of their own. Of course, he is a dancer. He takes after his Hawana sister. Thank you. The crown has not called her water shapers to battle in some time. If I was summoned to sink a Rawatayan vessel, I do not think I could answer the call. Forget that I spoke. Amira has gifted you beautiful plumage, I say. Nakara, she cherishes all her children. I say, Mother Ngati brings in the tide and pulls it back every day. For what would I ask anything more of the sea? Nakara, a sharp beak as well. For what do you scorn the blessing of Amira? If I had feathers, I would preen them to attract a mate. Ngati's favor has its complications, I say. Nakara, the things they teach children these days. Oh, do not listen to her, my little ones. Nakara, I tried but once. They would not trust me for weeks after. I say it is our responsibility to reach out to them first, Lady Knight. Nakara, my tribe would be delighted to host a feast in Amira's honor. This does not happen. For what did I open my mouth and make everything worse? Your poor ears. Still swollen, I say. For what is Aethys, the god of light? Does he hold the sun in the sky? Wonderful news, friend Shodi. A sacred coconut beetle is entangled in your hair. For what do you stare at me, priestess? Shodi, I say you stepped on a sacred palm beetle. I say the gods chiseled you from lumber and dragon bone. You and the captain traveled together all that time, but never... You delight in touching exotic animals, Ikera? My thoughts are for myself, but I give of my heart freely. Ikera? A hat of Kaura reed will guard them better than any helmet. A balm of crab eggs and beetle paste will clear that up. It is a good omen. Let it crawl, I say. Do you wish to touch one? They do not bite. Ikera, the elders say your nose will fall off into the sand. Ikera, the son of trickster Ngati does not wander far from his mother's ways. Still, I should warn you of the tarantula crawling up your back. I do not joke about spiders. Ngati weeps for such wasted potential. Far from these shores lies a garden of anemone. What say we go together? Ikera, he steals the light from others. Never. For what would I scribe a song that lives in my heart? Captain, you look most fetching in that color. I wish I had seen Cadnua before the Colossus trampled it. When you are around, I feel the archipelago has more than one savior. Would you consider a longer stay in the Deadfire? Island life suits you. How many guests could the master bedroom accommodate? Comfortably, I mean. It is comforting to surrender the reins to another, I say. Captain, may we speak at your leisure? Cadnua must have had a dungeon, I say. Were guests welcome, or only prisoners? Captain, I say there is something on your cheek. Ah, Kara, it was but a kiss. And never fear, I have taken care of it. Watcher, I do not intend on returning to the prince empty-handed. What do you need? This is the gullet? I had not realized. The queen calls these rations. Does she expect the Raparu to subsist on garbage? The Raparu feed their children from this pile? Unbelievable that they could hide so much under our city. Bastards. To squander everything we learned together. What crime could he have committed to deserve such a fate? A city beneath the city beneath the city. Each layer of Nekataka is more pungent than the last. I thought the Raparu had a piece of the city to themselves. This is a latrine. Were you buried alive in a mound of your own excrement? No, do not answer. The Mataru are supposed to take care of those below. This does not resemble care to me. Let us go on. You would not think it from the elevated districts of the city, would you? The deaths of these students hurts the guild, but no more so than their treachery. Whatever is happening in the gullet, I believe that water shapers are at the center of it. Haruihi would not have told you the entire story. There is a good reason. Let me explain. When water shapers are not attending to their duties, they are dispatched into the city. One evening, I snuck out and followed a group of shapers. I expected to find myself in Serpent's Crown, and to my surprise, they went down to the gullet. There are no water sculptures in the Raparu district. The crown only flaunts our power where it can be displayed for foreigners. As you will. I had thought that spending time in the gullet would reveal some hidden charm. I am still waiting for it. At least, a better class of foreigners than the type who frequent the gullet. We are not forbidden from entering the gullet, but it is simply not done. I followed a group of water shapers into the gullet, where no respectable guild member has any business. Water shapers aiding the principe, bringing in cargo with all the grace of drunk oxen. I have never seen a more undignified use of our talent. Have we all honed Ngati's talent for drudgery? We can discuss my emotional state later. This display has me sickened to my core. There is a reason this is being done in secret. It is unseemly, a betrayal of our art. The prince will want to know of this, but I am wondering if the crown needs to know the truth about Delver's Row at all. The Raparu will not thank us, but they have put the crown in an impossible position. Ikera, since the moment of my first inkling that something was amiss, it is no easy question and has no simple answers. Watcher, This warren brings business and trade through the gullet. Without it, the Raparu would be destitute. We should let the prince handle the rest and not involve ourselves any further. If we want to save this place, we had better leave before taking too many chances. Our presence will not be kindly met. I am more than a little relieved to stand in the company of a fellow misfit. Ikera, let us hope that the prince is as keen as his sister. Let us move on. I would see bright things again. If they have broken the crown's law, I simply want to know how and why. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, Myru keeps a tight leash. Nekataka's great sculptures require some maintenance to hold their form. Ikera, there is not. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, Myru kept a tight leash. Stop, I say. This is no time for japes. Captain, Thank you. I needed this. Ukaizo. The origin of all Huana. I say, it feels close enough to touch. Ikera, what say? Did you need something? Or is it enough to bask in perfection? I had not expected the prince to respond so quickly. Serpent's crown is under pressure, I say. It is because I am a godlike, kissed by the fish goddess at birth. Oh, take care. Flattery is my first language. It is not every day that I see a stranger face than mine in this part of town. What say? Have you come to gawk at Ngati's chosen like the rest? Water shaping is Ngati's gift to the Huana, and apparently I am too. Savior to the tribes. Just so. Blessed and cursed at birth, I say. What exactly did Prince Aruihi tell you? Black market? This has nothing to do with my problem. Unless, this makes sense. If there is something amiss in Nekitaka, the lower people would know of it first. The prince did not mention anything about water shapers? I had thought the guild would be his first concern. It seems I was wrong, because of what I told him in confidence. Let us speak of this somewhere else. One can never tell who is listening. To the gullet, then. I expect that the prince is used to doling out only what is essential and holding back the rest. Consider away. Smuggling? They could not bring more shame to our art if they made busts of the Hazanui. Speak freely. I am listening. If it untangles me from the guild's apron strings, then you can mount me as the figurehead of your fair ship. Kara, I bring art to the Guild of Water Shapers, but they do not tolerate expression here, as do many mortals in the Deadfire. It seems the gods are no different. The Green Man seems to be managing on his own. They will, I say, have bickering thoughts on the matter. You are not unknown to me, I say. Whispers of an Adra Colossus reach my ears. Our quarters may smell of fish before long, but your crew will be more beautiful by association, I say. Ha! For me, there is not enough rum in the Deadfire to even consider it. I would command the ocean herself to drag him to the bottom of a lightless trench. A watcher. And here I am used to being the freak of Pariki's overlook. Outside of the Mataru priests, we don't get many spirit readers. A fine guess. But no, Myru forbade me from following her. But I say Ngati would not want me to miss this. I know who you are. You have poked holes in the veil between life and death and drag its tatters behind you. Let us be off with a curse to all snakes on our lips. Their skin has seen its last shedding. This should be over soon. My patience wears thin, old shark. You have stifled me enough for one trip through Rakuhu's bowels. He is a busy warrior in a time of peace, I say. Kara, I sent the prince a missive and heard nothing back. A cozy, madam. Then this rooster will give the hen a wide berth. Of all the exotic birds in the Deadfire, I have seen none with plumage as fine as yours. Kara, the locals revere anything to do with the sea. The only question is, do I return to my duties, or while away a few hours in the bathhouse? The waters are fine, I say. Finer still with company. What say? The guild can wait until I am good and ready to return. Strange company. What a terrifying pair we would make. Hairy company. Your fur will never feel more lustrous. Take no offense. I am liking you already. Lead on. It will be good to put some distance between myself and the guild, even if we find less savory places along the way. He sent the right man to the gullet, I say. He sent the right woman to the gullet, I say. What will you do when you catch up to this walking god? Insufferable. What I am is to blame, I say. You have my attention, I say. Time alone is never wasted, I say. I say I am no sailor, and I know even less about death. I am an artist. My peers do not understand. Water shaping to them is like studying calligraphy. To brew ink and sort parchment. The tide brings unexpected gifts. Will we do much fighting, then? Kara, a pity. And louder whispers of a corpse who follows him. What does a watcher do? Kara. Just so. Ngati's son reduced to a barking seal. Oh, where to begin? The list goes on, I say. I am the prize water shaper of Nekitaka. Then let us be off. Ngati's chosen will bring his foot down on the back of every wriggling snake. Lead on, if that is your way. I will pray for my colleagues on their journey through Tongaloa's bowels. I skipped one lecture to travel up the mountain. Still, the palace is closed until you present me before Onikaza. This handsome fish tends to draw an audience, I say. Ikera, the significance is clearer to some than others. You see, Myru? Finally, one who appreciates my birthright. I am also the son of Ngati, as you can well guess. Not that I let such things get to my head. The old shark Myro, too stubborn to admit it, I say, but she will need help in Periki's tomb. I am ready to spill the water of our foes. What say? My offer stands. Myro and I had our differences, but... Kara, a terrible loss. Guildmaster, be reasonable. Surely you have seen my works across Nekitaka. Look to the antechamber of the Kahanga Palace for my Apple of Ngati, or to the luminous bathhouse for my Dance of the Wanton Priestess. For as long as there have been Hawana, there have been water shapers. But only since Tekēhu has water shaping been art. Through our connection to the gods, the Hawana mold water like it is clay, easing it into an assumed form. We could sink every ship in Rawatai's fleet if they drew too close to the city, but some of us have gentler tastes. Some of us see water shaping for what it is, a gift of divine expression. Did your tribe never teach the art of our people? Fair warning, Captain. Ngati gifted her favorite son with more than his stunning complexion. Good guess, only for as long as... well, leave the lure out of this, Captain. I say you will learn. In time. Kara, I look forward to teaching you. What say, Captain? What indeed? I say I am of two minds. Ngati spoke to you. You have questions? Kara, I have answers. The art of our ancestors, I say. To bend water to our will is a gift from Mother Ngati to her chosen people. Questions, Captain? Kara, for what do I owe the pleasure? Ngati smiles on you, Captain. You wish to blunt your teeth with chatter? Kara, have on. What say, my friend? Ngati, give me patience. I will hear you. Can it not wait, Captain? What say? Kara? Ha! To leave her son guessing. This is my tricksome mother through and through. What mother doesn't? You must be special indeed for Ngati to speak with words. For her people, she lays out cryptic stepping stones hidden in omens. Kara, but send her my fondest wishes. It is a mother's right to protect her sacred offspring, Captain. My thoughts swim in deep waters, Captain. I say that we have had our fun, but I do not feel my interests are returned. The problems of the Deadfire were never simple. Now they have grown too many tentacles by far. Is there still time for us? The captain and the handsome fish? If it's all the same, I will continue as your loyal crewman. Kara, all the same. I thank you for trying. I say we cannot. Then ignore my worries, I say. Ngati would not have us wallow in concern. Kara, in another life, perhaps. If Ngati smiles upon us. I hoped you might say that. For what did the tribes give Ngati's chosen all the praise and education if I give them nothing in return? My talents are my own, and not even Ngati can tell me how they should be used. I say the tribes would do better with more artists and fewer saviors. But to shackle my hopes as an artist is such a heavy responsibility. It is stifling, I say. Finding the Covenant could bring the Hawana closer to the gods and the ways of the past. I must decide if this is best, but my people struggle against the outsiders. And Ngati did not place me in the Deadfire without intention. Sad to say that all things are possible where the gods are concerned. Since devastation swept our way of life out to sea, too much of the art has been lost. Fabrications, I say, meant only to siphon power from her dragon wards. But there is an echo of truth in them still. Periki, founder of the guild, organized the lore of Ngati's talent into a series of postures and meditations we call the 4 forms of water shaping. Kara, speak on. Try as we might to embody Ngati's element, our bodies are not water. Kara, this is the form of grief, a beginner's test. The body's internal water is a force that conquers all. Even the mountain will bow to the stream. The form of hope, I say. Water commands its vessel, and the vessel can be shaped as surely as the mountain. The form of metamorphosis, Kara? The art is a challenge to grasp, difficult to master, and impossible to perfect. Unless you are Ngati's chosen, I say. It is only by force of habit that I omit the final form. We do not speak of it in the guild. The form of transcendence. Only a story, I say. Even crafty Pariki could not commit this ancient form to her scrolls. It was said that our ancestors could shape the very oceans of the Deadfire. This was Ngati's true gift, but we have yet to recover it from the ruins of our past. If we could find it on Ukaizo, I say that Aora would see true Huana power. The Kahunga are my tribe, but my people settled on Atua, an island too modest to deserve the attention of maps. My mortal mother tans boar hides. My father trades in the abundance of pearls and opals Atua is blessed to provide. When I was born, father called me his blue topaz boy. Doubtless, I say. But I am the most precious gem of recent history. Godlike are revered as bringers of local change, but only Ngati's chosen is thought to deliver an omen for all Huana at once. Ikera. High winds stirred the vigor of the seas. 2 huts collapsed before our local storm speaker could shout down the weather. They say the skies only cleared when I fell into the midwife's basket. Peace had returned to the island. Or so the Mataru predicted. I could not be kept from the water, so my father taught me how to dive for pearls and azada snails. Ngati filled my palms with riches on every harvest, I say. When I came of an age to begin a man's pursuits, the Mataru reached out to the Kahanga Queen, weighing my arrival against the forces that descended on her territory. The Queen could not invite Ngati's chosen into the Watershapers Guild fast enough. In hard times, the endorsement of a goddess is more valuable than currency. Ngati, what have I done? Captain, Of course, as you say, we were pleasant while we lasted, were we not? You see my adorable fish, Captain. I leave you to guess which of them is real. Captain, our partnership grows more complicated by the hour. I did not join your crew to see Ukaizo wrested from Huana hands. Yet here we are. Ukaizo belongs to the Huana, but we are not lifting a finger to deliver the tribes to their native shores. I say that even trickster Ngati expected more from her favorite son. I do not seek to change your mind, Captain. If the Huana did not earn your trust by now, then there is no going back. The Kahanga will be expecting me. By Ngati's lamp, I hope that you find what you seek on Ukaizo. Since Ukaizo, Akira, I concede this is true, but I will not be the one to strip them of hope. Take care in Andres Mortar. My mother is not known for her restraint. If I see you on Ukaizo, Akira, but may it never come to that. I say it was nice while it lasted. I say it is not so easy to turn your back on a beloved. Captain, you know me. The mind of an artist is not so easily changed. I trust you, Captain. The plans of Mother Ngati are beyond mortal imagination. I may yet help my people, but turn I must. That is unkind. But in parting, I say it is best to forgive. Akira, but I will miss your silver tongue. Captain, just look at where we are. There's no time to waste, I say. To serve on your crew would make me complicit in the death of the Kahanga. How could I do this, Captain? There is nothing for you waiting at the palace, I say. Do not plunge the Huana into another age of sorrow. If you are the adversary of the Kahanga, I say the royalty must be prepared to pass my mother's most fateful test. When the Valians have taken what they wanted from Ukaizo, they will leave, Akira. I was afraid of this, Captain. I wish to believe you, Captain, and so I shall. Alas, I cannot. The Huana may yet have another chance at Ukaizo. I say we will prove ourselves equal to Mother Ngati's latest test. If the Principe want nothing but the riches of Ukaizo, will they leave the Adra and the history where it lies? I say it is admirable how you forge your own path. Even Ngati's chosen must respect this. I will remain by your side. The dignity of the tribes runs through your blood, I say. But you disrespect our people at every turn. Akira, but my words are for the gun-toting company spy. All the powers of Aora have rallied against us. Akira, it is a disgrace that one of our own should join them at the vanguard. She believes every word. I say the poison drips through her friendly smile. I am Ngati's chosen. Who will speak for them if not me? Am I not? The Mataru have told me different my entire life, I say. Sakara, at least that would deprive the Deadfire of an assassin. I can hold my silence no longer. We were not the embarrassment after the Battle of Nakaro Atoll. I'm fine. Sakara, of course she did. It's just ink. Normally I am able to control it. But in times like these, not now. What say, Maya? Do you think me irreverent? I hold the gods sacred, nothing else. But it was poor form to speak of the dead. I will pray for the day, the hour, when we can beat our swords into plowshares and let art tell of our deeds. We are not without our squalls, but I do not invite the problems of the Deadfire into this crew. Akira, don't speak nonsense. I was pushing you too hard to find common ground. What say? If there is a more genuine apology than that, I don't think I have heard it. Thank you, Maya. I wouldn't want to exclude you. A conversation for another day. Aha. If we were having one of those conversations, it would already have happened. Akira, I have seen worms as long as the shore pulled from the rears of healthy Almaua. Lady Knight, do you have a moment? Akira, I did. See how I carry the figure's twin? Now we each have one. Mine is blessed with the mischief of Ngati, and yours is blessed with her favor. I thought, Akira, I am still learning. I thought she could use the good fortune. I meant no offense, Captain. Akira, I think you misunderstand. In my tribe, our struggles are not so different. My people expect, forgive me, Captain. Palagina, I will not intrude on your ways, Lady Knight. You have my word. Akira, I was mistaken to think we shared something. Because of this, the bitterest of rivals would not leave things as I did. I would make amends. If it is not to your liking, the water form will collapse in minutes. I simply thought I was wrong to press you, Lady Knight. We deal with our heritage differently. It will have to be maintained, but for you, I will do this, I say. These old pages are a winding trail between our minds, but they are only the beginning of a longer path. Akira? Lady Knight, I will say my prayers in a softer voice if they offend you. Would you help me to read the words of your beautiful tome? My grasp of alien is not what it could be. Your gift is for later. Some of my people disdain the books of outsiders as lies. But I will cherish this one. Then ours will be a journey well spent, friend Palagina. Where are these places? To be godlike in the Deadfire is different, I say, but not necessarily better. Captain, a word? It is relaxing to crouch in your shade, Captain. I hope you do not mind if I tarry a while. It is relaxing to lose yourself in another, I say. All the powers of the Deadfire have their eyes on the Watcher of Cadnua. Tell me, is the Watcher watching anyone? I am feeling braver than normal. Akira, a good captain has that effect on their crew. Dead? Akira, the blood which rushed to occupy one place has gone to all other places at once. To be between lovers is a terrible thing unless one is physically between them, I say. A pity you did not glance in my direction sooner, Captain. The pain of a missed opportunity. It is divine, I say. You came to the Deadfire for your own reasons. The problems of others, they must be noisy obstacles by comparison. For once, Ngati answers my prayers. So innocence and piety inflamed your desire. Say no more. I will not add a fish to the love triangle of Captain, Sharpshooter, and Bird. No one with a beating heart, then? Akira, I forgive this reckless fish for testing the waters. I will bother you no more. If such things interest you, my last haphazard coupling was not so long ago. In Nekataka, in fact. Akira, I am the hope and destiny of my people. My heart is full of stories. She was a godlike, one of Amira's brood. Her hair is neat and orderly as a raven's wing. We found each other in the market and made ourselves comfortable behind a fishmonger's stall. She left me this as a keepsake, most desperately. But I do not cage love or force it to be anything but itself. A bird fluttered away. She was not mine to keep. As you say, Captain, I never knew her name. Now I do not have to suffer the pangs of forgetting it. We could blunt our teeth on more idle chatter, but I cherish the suspense. Come, we both know the burden of being looked to as a source of hope. What say, I come to you with another tale of indecency, assuming you would enjoy having your blood flow steered southward? With none of the context to bless my passion with significance? I won't have it, Captain. Stories deserve better. Before I came to Neketaka, I spent many a night alone tending to signal fires on the beaches of my village. One lonely evening, a shadow approached me. He was an Aumaua as tall as the crags of Magrin's teeth. He planted his harpoon in the ground and knelt to warm his hands. Well, the same thing anyone wants at night, around the fire. Warmer hands. He was a whaler on a year-long voyage, his ship weighed down with meat, oil, and bone. But he studied me like I was something new to the sea. For hours we spoke of his travels. He left at first light, but not before asking to touch me. Here, by day, he traded with my village. I saw him in the market, the Ranga's hut. He saw me as well. He is out there still, spearing Ngati's less handsome children with his magnificent harpoon. We did not last, but that is not a story for today. I was not at first. Thank you for listening, Captain. You would be surprised. Hush, Captain. This talk is distracting enough as it is. Well, it helps when both parties are beautiful, full of desire, and have no afternoon plans. I was expected at the guild hall, but one must have their priorities. It is no matter. Another time. You mean the prize lure of my tackle box? I am as the goddess made me. Beautiful, imperfect, and desiring. Nothing else matters. There is some faint bioluminescence. Quite harmless. Ikera. Just so. Ikera. And we have only just begun. Captain, what has been your most impressive feat of seduction? I once bedded a Rauatayan admiral without exchanging a word. Ikera, there are other topics? I say that sex is useful for clarifying my intentions. Myru paraded me before her, thinking I alone could intimidate Rauatai's fleet. Gods, Captain. Her muscles had muscles. One of the Hazanui passed through Neketaka on a diplomatic mission. She insisted on visiting the Water Shapers Guild. Surveying the competition, I say. I heard that she spent her evenings in the officers' lounge, strategizing over drinks. I covered my magnificence under a peasant's cloak and made for the brass citadel. The guards at the lounge would not grant me entry at first. She mentioned offhandedly that her ship needed repairs before the return voyage. I say you can imagine what happened next. Eventually, not until I explained that I was the evening's entertainment. I did. Naturally, my story checked out when they realized I was nude under the cloak. I presented myself before the stunned officers. The Hazanui wore an expectant smile. Winking at her, I mounted one of the map tables and gyrated to some of Rauatai's bawdiest sea shanties. When enough was enough, the Hazanui signaled for everyone to clear the room, and the war games began. This is paradise, I say. Second only to the guild for introspection. At least I have not frightened you off with my chatter. Setting aside my carnal compulsions, you deserve to know why I have pestered you with tales of my antics. Charm? Oh, not so, Captain. I would have you know me by my impulses, my desires. These are Tekēhu as much as the living God. I would draw you in with care, with patience. Ikera, then may we put up a merry chase for each other. I know of one way to find out. Ha! Very good, I say. Flatterer. Oh, boorishness does not suit you, Captain. Ikera, you might think so, but Rauatai's fleet pulled its ships away from Neketaka the following morning. Let it never be said that I failed to serve my people. Well, it does not take much to get my hips shaking, I say. I feel I must explain my intentions. Though I appreciate any encouragement. You know that fervor is a quality I cherish. Ikera, no. A bit more complicated. Not much, but a bit. She bade me lay down on the map. Once I was situated, she chided me for leaving my borders unprotected. Naughty boy that I am. Her armada sailed against my island with a heavy assault. She bellowed the most vile and depraved orders. In the end, I stole back the advantage, firing a cannon across her port side and leaving the magnificent vessel crippled in the water. Ours was a battle of endurance, not tactics, but I cherished winning a victory for the Juana. Akira, I hope so. Otherwise, I might have started a war. If you ever want to find out, I am an adventurous fish. Be kind to yourself, Captain. Make sure there is something left for me. The feathered godlike from Neketaka, the children of Amira, and Ngati were too evenly matched. I sought difference and found only a mirror. Is it wrong to want disparity? To hope for a partner greater than you? Then there was my handsome whaler, a perfect specimen, weathered, elusive, aggressive. Akira, that goes without saying. But the morning after our coupling, I awoke to him praying at my feet. Akira, just so. Well, I hope that Mother Ngati sent a barbed ravager after him. My strong Hazanui? Our coupling was diplomacy, a chance joining of competing powers. Taking your hand and leading you through my perversions, my failures, it was not done for my ego alone, Captain. In the arms of a lover, I want to forget what I am to my people. I don't want to be cherished, and I fear this will never happen. You can? Will you let me be in great need, wanting nothing more than to shrug off the weight of the archipelago and forget myself in your arms? You are more special than you know, Captain. After all that we shared, can we eclipse each other, Captain? Can the Watcher and the Chosen Son blot each other out so that no one can see us? Whatever happens, do not let me fall asleep unless I am by your side, wearing not the frown of a savior, but the smile of an innocent fool. None of this is easy. We can only try to make it simpler for those we love. Thank you, Captain. Really, Akira, that sounds wonderful. The gods knew what they were doing when they assembled you for me. Akira, yes, Captain. I would not mind that, though she might take offense. We have a room, Captain. I plan on using it. We will both sleep better for this, I am thinking. I will pat your brow when meddlesome spirits invade your dreams. For now, Akira, but my needs are most insatiable. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Too tall by far. I move fast, I say. I promise I will move slower when we are alone. She had all the delicacy and grace of a clenched fist. I wanted a taste of this power. Oh, no? You have not been the savior of an archipelago as long as some of us. Well, then you have the distinction of being more generous than Ngati's chosen, and you wish for a moment of silence to dampen the rabble. Akira, but humor me. Jealousy doesn't suit you, Captain. Akira, as you say, Captain. As you say, Captain. Last time, I say, you showed some reluctance. Good luck, I suppose. When the moon rose, I led him from the guest hut and showed him the stars from the beach, and much else besides. Captain, I feel we drift apart. Either I am not the same fish who was charmed into pursuit, or you are not the same captain. I say the difference matters little. So eager, I say. But let us wait for a time. Prolong our delights, Akira. Considering all that vies for our attention, I wondered if I could indulge you in a diversion. I say we are both overworked, poorly rested, and deserving of an evening to ourselves. Arrangements have been made in the Wild Mare. I wondered if you would join me. I had hoped to take your mind from duty. Just this once? Akira. Wonderful, I say. To the mare, then. I secured us a room, Captain. Some privacy. Akira, but reel in your nets a moment. I see. Akira. My thoughts exactly. Agreed. I was a tuna caught in her net. A passing delight, I say. Akira, only be sure you have the stamina for it. I want to vanish. I want to be squeezed and pushed and gobbled up until there is nothing of Tekēhu for his people to find. Of course, Captain, I do not want you to misunderstand. I am a sea anemone, hungry and eager to close around stimulation. What say, the academic? Then I hope you two continue to amuse each other. Captain, I would speak plainly. Are you as excited by the possible? What I mean is, if we were to... I know, Kara, something about your company stirs my nerves. If we were to share more than just quarters below deck, does the idea appeal to you? Captain, that was exceptionally well done. You have worked yourself into a deserving rest. Captain, give your handsome shark an hour to replenish his stamina, I say. Does it? I say you will get used to the smell before long. Come, the sea air will do us both some good. How am I to take this, Captain? Has the weight of the archipelago made a burden of our union? Kara, it is no trouble. Captain, a word. When I joined the guild, I was a fish in a dream. Nothing. Would I still be Tekēhu without the gifts and encouragement this place lavished upon me? I do not want to tarry in this house of regret a moment longer. My thoughts will be clearer in time. You are kind to listen, I say. Kara, even if this faith was a lie, if the guild cannot depend on its own teachings, then difficult times lie ahead of us all. Kara, no matter how many warships sailed against us, the Juana should have relied on each other first. Now I see the guild only for what it has become. Kara, a perversion of the oldest Juana art. Kara, as you say, water shapers were the keepers of our oldest covenant, protectors of history. Heroes, I say. Ukaizo, for what did you do it, Captain? Captain, I would speak to you of Ukaizo. Your Aethys is a riddle, I say. My thoughts turn to the gullet, and I cannot steer them back. Captain, a word. Well, Captain, here we are. I say that I sleep better when you are around, Captain. The dragon. I say there is too much to consider at once. Captain, we should talk, I say. You refer to the dragons of mighty Ukaizo. More guardians than predators, but the details are muddled in legend. So it is a god, but not a god, twisted by gods into godhood? Captain, I have many questions. Not a pod or a school, but a pack? As you will, Captain. Why would champions wish to be seated in private? Throw us to our adoring fans like chum to the water. Have we said something to offend? Forgive me, I say. I am not accustomed to seeing a lady disappointed. Magnificent, are we not? You say this like it's a challenge. Would you like to see a better one? I know for a fact that the gods delight in watching their children spar for dominance. Serious enough that a man lost his head over the matter. Quite literally, I say. Not so different from singers who manifest creatures and allies into the battlefield, then. My art is more refined. Life is so fulfilling when you have nothing to prove. Power flows in those waters, Captain. If you felt it as I do, you would not hesitate. You were there, weren't you? You saw the great cataclysm which swallowed Ukaizo. Water shapers without a guild? What say? Do they practice Periki's forms? All brothels are arenas, Captain. But not all arenas are brothels. This is a lesson better learned early, I say. Every story ends in death, friend Constantin. Stranger than present company. Captain, we are as diverse, as unusual, and as beautiful as fish in the sea. If this is the destiny you choose, then I say go with Ngati's blessing, gazing into the captain's eyes until the world vanishes around us. This is my job, not yours. Captain, this is a risky move. Consider the consequences. We might never be allowed into the wild mare again. Everything seems as peaceful and orderly as we left it. I have performed for bigger audiences, but I say this one will do. I notice we have not visited my mother's realm. Still nervous about upsetting her favorite son? Be on your guard, Captain. The air is charged like the sea before a storm. Time to avenge Myru on these beasts. Captain, explain to me again what you intend to prove by murdering an old man a second time? Let us teach these students what it means to be an alpha predator. Captain, if this changeling were to change into one of us, How would you tell us apart? Let me know where you want me, Captain. I am ready. Some of nature's wonders are less wonderful than others. The shadows seem to live. But what manner of life is this? It seems a waste to kill such beasts. So handsome and in their prime. I'll follow your lead, Captain. This could go any number of ways. Strange how we guard our tombs, but let the living fend for themselves. Let us put their silence to the test, Captain. What majestic kittens! I would adopt you all if only we had room on the ship. I give no quarter to snakes. Let us end this quickly, Captain. Will they not simply burn out if we wait long enough? We should try this later. Below deck. I have seen birds larger than this at sea. Next time, bring us a real dragon, smarter than they look. Let us not underestimate these brutes, Captain. Shall we put their confidence to the test, Captain? I cannot say this is an improvement, but I cannot say that I mind either. Captain, I demand a piglet for our menagerie. Feel free to wrangle one if the opportunity presents itself. I've got your back, Captain. Let's give these fiends a battle to remember. Is Edwin going to become one of these things? I suppose I must respect her commitment. Captain, I will protect this parchment with my life. Let us answer the age-old question of bear versus shark, shall we? What an impressive manifestation. What a time for our talkative friend to disappear. Captain, he can't have gone far. Captain, where is your courage? I hope that was an apology, Captain. A dead fire without beaches is not a dead fire worth saving. For once the divine mantle passes to anyone but me. What an impressive pod you have assembled here. I say, we have much to teach each other. Ikera, greetings from an emissary of the sea. Captain, this is hardly the time or place to pass around the handsome fish. Ikera, if I must. Look here, my king, a trick to dazzle your courtiers. Absolutely not. I'd rather swim to the shallows and watch you flounder. Captain, if I may? My king, ours is a heritage of perseverance. We pay you only the highest compliment. Just because you are right does not mean I have to enjoy it. Of course. Who could forget the ballads of wise Wingaro, or the tales of his war fleet that spanned the horizon? Captain, you expect your pet fish to remember every history lesson? Apologies, my king. I hope that your realm is a resplendent one. If he is like other kings, then I assume he plants his foot on the necks of artists until their talent is reduced to a political tool. Am I close, your highness? Do not be so quick to judge an uncomplicated life, Captain. The gods do not love you any more or less than they do these folk. Oh, the poor little icicle. Captain, if you will not surrender one of your cloaks as a blanket, then it is welcome to one of mine. You indulge in unusual fantasies, Captain. I am intrigued to see where this goes. The oldest Juana legends speak of 3 guardians, but is this truly our purpose, Captain? I am feeling oddly misled. You never seek the more straightforward solutions to your dragon problems, do you? Ikera, I respect this. Captain, you might have spoken to me first. I am not beyond considering the possibilities. Ikera, it is nothing. That could fix things, or it could make them deliciously complicated. Either way, you have my attention. Why can no one simply agree on facts? I hope that one day you see it as an honor, not a chore. Are the 2 of you not speaking Adiran, Captain? Curious. Anything is possible. Ukaizo vanished from the Deadfire long ago. It may have ended up here. Doubtful, I say. We know that Aothis is bound for Ukaizo, which tells me it is still a part of the archipelago. Still, perhaps it is best to play along. Captain, you're blushing. Should I be jealous of something? A void of endless cold and death. How to cross such a gloomy expanse? Captain, I would sooner cut my hair than let you sacrifice our snowy elf. I cannot alone carry the burden of being the pretty one. Captain, how am I to take this? How am I to bear it? Your bed will be a cold one tonight, I say. My mother will hear of this in my prayers, Captain. You will be lucky if she only sinks your ship. Well, should we not stand still as well, Captain? Captain, I hope you have no wish to follow that beast. For what would they run from Ngati's chosen? Something is wrong here, Captain. Ikara, you're right. And those words over there are Hwana symbols. A most unusual pairing. How many is many by your math, friend Rekka? The tribes seldom agree on the timeline of Ukaizo's fall. This place has eyes that pry through falsehood, I say. Someone is watching our every step. Nothing like a little exercise to warm the extremities. Ladies first. We will make a water shaper of you yet. A pity. I wanted to take its tooth as a keepsake. What a cold reception this place offers. You move time like it is water. Kara, incredible. Mother Ngati does not bury her creations. She sends them out to brighten all that they touch. If you seek the apex of godliness, well, look no further. Well, not too quiet, I hope. The music of passion is good for the soul, I say. Well played. I never would have guessed Onikaza was such a trickster. The fawning adoration of a gentle creature. Yes, little one, I am here. Shortly after he moved into Periki's overlook, the Royal Deadfire Company complained of imp droppings on the deck of their warships. Take from that what you will. This terrible place would not be complete without an equally terrible overseer. I feel no empathy in this creature, Captain. You are beautiful, Captain. Let no one tell you otherwise. If this thing starts crying, we are all in trouble. Oh, what a pity, when there is so much scenery to enjoy. Those people deserve to remember their stories, their lives, but at such a cost. We do indeed, friend Adair. Slippery ones, glistening in more colors than even a watcher's eye can perceive. If the whole beckons, what shame is there in giving it a hand? Captain, that voice. We should never have come here. What of its memories? The people trapped in that accursed shell. Ladies first. No, really, my lady. Deepest condolences for your fungal friends. I trust they will grow back in time? No need for hostilities, my lady. What say we discuss this over a moist log, or whatever it is that fungus enjoys most? Perhaps we do stand out in a crowd, but appearances are nothing unless you can back them up with charm and wit. It always gets bloody, does it not? For once, I truly believe our task is a necessary one. Beloved, are you quite all right? I hate to see that haunted look in your eyes. You sure showed them. Oops, that wasn't my doing. Take that, literature. I love a good magic trick. Let us find another. How do I know it's still you, and not a fungus facsimile? Adaptation. Nature's greatest weapon. My people would not allow an infestation like this to spread unchecked. Look, Captain. What might we find if we ascended to the top of this buried sanctum? Well, I too would wear a mask if I was made of worms. I have seen worse openings. Perhaps Tane can help me forget what I just saw? They don't even keep their scalpels sharp. As if there would be any mercy. This prison strips away everything, does it not? Dignity, willpower, and even flesh. Who is down there making such an unholy noise? Do you think they number each other? I would not wish to be a number. Well, it looks so warm and inviting. Shall we get closer? A child. Captain, what have we done? Try not to step on anything. Some of us enjoy having blood, a monument to agony and loss. We should leave these goods where they fell. So many people discarded like refuse. We cannot forget what happened here. Perhaps they did not adapt to this cage as well as I thought. We are under very close scrutiny. I wonder how much this place understands what it sees. Captain, was it you I invited to the wild mare? I told myself I would never forget that night. I think we are expected. Now this is my true calling. Gentlemen, ladies, who wants to pet the handsome fish? Oh, gods, what have we done? What have we done? Captain, it isn't too late to turn around. Ngati's lamp. What happened here? My appetite has abandoned me. Captain, was it not too late to simply sail away? I say we bring the fist of the gods down on our enemies. By Ngati, you would not guess that these were once Juana lands. Now, where did I put my flint and steel? Our green friend walks with a heavy stride. Akira, we should check on the lighthouse west of here. With a footprint like this, one must wonder at the green god's other dimensions. It was hubris to settle in a reef full of snakes. Rawatai can take a lesson from this. Behold, the migration of the coral naga. Maybe another route, Captain. One that does not take us into the snake's nest? Has it been this way since the age of my ancestors? Shall we pillage the pillagers, Captain? You did not notice our escort's wandering hands, I'm sure. A curious way to announce guests, Akira. Enjoy your liquid courage, Captain. I say, I am tempted to join them and begin a new life. At least he ended on a high note. Would it help to water them, I wonder? Mother Ngati comes to greet us. At least I don't need to hold my breath. But something about that pool makes me want to. Mother, forgive me in advance for slaying this beauty. I am not eager to visit Ngati's coral hall. Take care what you do. Oh, this fish has met his match, I say. Smells like Ngati's outhouse. Not entirely unpleasant, though. Not my first visit to Oriokoiki. Akira, hopefully not my last. May I step closer to you, Captain? An excellent first act. The ending felt rushed. That device. A mechanical aora, I say. How cozy. Captain, may we go home? I feel unwell. Must we destroy everything we pass by? It's like that night in the Wild Mare all over again. I would miss our crew so terribly, I say. Nowhere in the Isles have I seen such craftsmanship. A Oaxaca tribesman once bedded me in a similar ruin. Not the most hygienic evening. The plants have minds of their own, I say. And sharp teeth. This is not the coral and bone hall of Ngati. I do not belong here. I've seen more inviting whirlpools in my day. We should spend more time in my mother's realm. Akira, I say the Animancer's tower has seen better days. By Ngati, a single spark would blast the city to Margaren's anus. Captain, have we... No, ignore me. I am mistaken. They're creeping up on me, Captain. Something touched my leg. Captain, we should leave. Won't someone wrap me in their arms to dispel this chill? Set me loose on those drums and you would hear true rhythm. What can I do for you?